Hey everyone, welcome to a live post-game edition of the Chargers knocking off the Saints 26-8. Chargers are 4-3. I will not be walking to Arizona like I guarantee to win and told I had to pick up a Cardinal. I'm out. None of this walk-in stuff. It's not going to happen. So at the same time, Chargers win. They're now 4-3 on the season. It was one of those games where you sit there and go, man, are we going to win? And then the score doesn't actually show, the moments where we were scared or we felt threatened. But at the same time, the Chargers able to pull it out. I say this all the time, Josh, as I'll get ready to light my victory cigar in 1 second here, it's the NFL, all right? Winning in pro sports is never easy, but I honestly feel winning in the NFL is really the toughest place to consistently win or to get that win. So you only play once a week, but at the same time, winning a game is tough. I don't care who you're playing. I mean, these teams are matched up. You look at the odds from Vegas every week, and you realize how close these scores are supposed to be. It is tough to win in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't think any game is a gimme, even when you're playing against a team like the New Orleans Saints that have a handful of injuries and they don't have their quarterback. It's the NFL, like you said, every game is supposed to be by 3 points. I know the Saints obviously have lost 6 games in a row, but when you're a Charger fan, I don't understand how any game could be a gimme or a guarantee, like you said, with your best Charles Barkley impersonation.
Oh my God, no way. No way. No way. Oh my God, no way. Oh my God.
Commanders.
Can they throw a Hail Mary? I thought we were going to wait for that game to be over, but I thought it was over. Go ahead, Mark. Explain it. What do we miss? Everyone else is going to watch this and go, what the hell?
I'm so sorry, Josh.
Explain what happened.
I just lost so much freaking money.
God. Yeah. Rewind this.
They threw a Hail Mary. It got tipped, and it went tipped back, and they caught it for a touchdown and won.
I hope it was
Who
scary.
caught it? It was McLaurin?
I don't know. I hope
it was some freaking bum in the back.
Not much of a bum. He's not paying for dinner tonight.
Oh, my God. Tip down. Tip down. Oh, my God. That just cost me $200. God, dude. Oh, my God. Sorry. Those talk Charger football. Screw this game. Screw Chicago. Screw D.C. Those cities suck. All right.
Those are the last 2 cities you lived in.
Yeah, and they just kicked me right in the left nut and the freaking right one. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. And the right one. Gosh darn it.
Dang it. Let's be a professional.
God. Sorry.
Oh, that's incredible. I just watched the play.
I am professional. Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, my God. If you live in D.C. right now, you're losing your mind.
Am I supposed to talk, or what are we doing now?
Yeah, talk. I'm sorry.
I wanted Mar to give details so people aren't turning off the show and running to the TV.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
Rewind it. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying the Charger game, I'm just happy we won. Even though it was an ugly game all the way around, a win's a win, Mario.
Hey, win's a win. And, it was ugly. You wanted to look away at times. You thought, what are we doing here? But they pulled it out. They won 26-8. The end of the day, they dominated. And, Dave, we got a lot of vintage Herbert plays today. Like that was my silver lining. There's a lot of vintage Herbert plays. That was exciting. Ladd looked good, but not gonna lie to you, it was a pig with lipstick on a lot today. It was not the prettiest.
Yeah, as we say, not the best looking, but at the same time, like your prom date, it got the job done. You know what I mean? That's the line. I mean, that's just kind of the way it works around here. Look, that's the way it goes. 26-8, the team wins. A win's a win. At the same time, if you're watching for entertainment, this is not the kind of game you want to sell to someone saying this is why the NFL is great. Because at times, it didn't seem like we were watching NFL quality football. I'll take the win. 4-3 record. I'll take that. A friend of mine took his father-in-law to the game today. He's from Bulgaria, okay? Doesn't know anything about football. And I'm thinking he's having the worst time ever right now until things got a little bit better. And you can thank Ladd McConkey and you can thank Justin Herbert for that. Let's not, gloss over as far as what has happened with Ladd McConkey today. I mean, there were 2 plays that were really outstanding. Like if you were in high school and making your highlight film because you want a college to recognize you, the run after the catch for 60 yards was incredible. And at the same time, it sounds underrated because it's only 9 yards. The pass by Justin Herbert in that situation where you have the lead and you don't have to throw it and say, are we going to go the safe route? And he goes, I'm going for it. This is what we're doing. And the catch by Ladd, there were 2 incredible plays. They were easily the highlights. I understand they both equaled 7 points. or not exactly, because Cameron Dicker is not consistent on extra points anymore. But at the same time, Ladd McConkey, this was to me one of those, hey, the rest of the NFL, pay attention to what's going on with this rookie wide receiver.
Yeah, I felt like it was Ladd's coming out party. Definitely wide receiver one, right? There's not even a conversation anymore. Who's the Chargers' go-to receiver? I was really happy with the way Ladd played. When he got that ball on the sideline, when he caught it with the guy right on him, I was thinking, man, what kind of short receiver makes that play? Like, that was really impressive by Ladd McConkey. I was a little bit confused, and maybe I'm, in the minority on this one. When the broadcasters got on Ladd's case for going down near the goal line, did you agree with them that he should try to push his way into the end zone there and take a huge hit? Or were you happy with him going down right there at the 1 yard line, Mario?
Like, I got what they're saying, but at the same time, just kind of what we've seen so far from Ladd and with the injuries he's gone through so far. Like, I saw both sides. Like, in the moment, I was like, you know what? I do agree. Like, he's got to die for it. Like, he's got to freaking get it. But at the same time, I go, injuries, we're very thin right now at receiver. Like, guys, if he goes down today, do we win this game?
No. Or
you know what I mean?
Maybe, I don't know. It was kind of kicked their ass at the end, but he made the biggest difference.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, maybe we don't win. We win, but we don't win 26-8. Obviously, touchdown gets off the board. Yeah. But, like, it's one of those things where I was like, just stay healthy, Dave, because we're so thin right now. One, bad injury, and we're in real trouble.
All right. It's funny that you bring this up, or the way this happened to come about, because I'm watching. I sat like in this spot all day long, and I'm watching two TVs in the front and one over here to the side. And this play came up numerous times, meaning at what point do you go for it and take that hit, right? We talked about Keenan Allen. For years, he was never a yards after the catch guy. Maybe he was when he first came into the league, but when they first moved to LA, he definitely was not. If they were playing at the LA Galaxy Stadium, man, as soon as he caught the ball, he gave himself up. You always hear, oh, he gives himself up. He gave himself like I'm going to lay on the ground right now. And when I watched the games today, and it hurt different teams today. There are different situations you go for those yards. First of all, if you're near the goal line, you go for those yards. You take a hit, you get the points. You got to get the points. At the same time, if it's third down and you're going for an extra yard dive, will give you a first down, you got to go for it. Like I watched the Raiders-Chiefs game 30 minutes ago, and the Raiders blew it. But when I'm watching the Chiefs, like, this is something we go for. This is what winning teams do. And so when you hear guys go, I made a business decision. You mean you made a body selfish business decision. Guess what? Your business decision to the organization, to the fans are, you sign your name on that line. We're going to give you a lot of money, and you're going to do everything you can to score touchdowns, get first downs, and make tackles. Those are the business decisions. I don't want to hear about life expectancy business decisions. You already agreed to play this game. We all know it's dangerous. But when you sit there and you hurt the team, it's frustrating. Now, it wasn't one of those that today it cost you, but it could down the line. I mean, in a big game. If that was the Chiefs and they lost that game because he didn't go for it and take that hit, I would have been upset right now. If that was at the Broncos, that was the Raider game, if that was to get into the playoffs, all that stuff right there would have bothered me. I'm sorry, it might sound callous as hell, but man, this is the NFL. And we all know, man, it is dangerous. And every 30 seconds is like getting in a car accident. Got it. Man, but at the same time, this is what you signed up for. No one made you do it. It's not the law that you got to do it. This is what you signed up for. You get your ass in there and you take those hits and you get those extra yards, USOB.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm if it's like not near the goal line, I think you should go down and save yourself the hit. But if it's at the goal line, dude, you got to put your body on the line, especially with the Chargers team where nothing's guaranteed, right? With all the penalties the Chargers have, with the lack of the run game at times, with the lack of touchdowns at times. This is the first time we scored a touchdown today. It seems like forever. I'm with you. You got to go for that touchdown there. But overall, extremely happy with Ladd McConkey. As a Charger fan, you have to be hyped with Ladd McConkey. There's a couple guys on the team, Mario. I say, is this guy worthy of even being on the field? I'm going to give you a guy right now. Every time he stepped on the field, he screwed up. Was Tomlinson, the tight end. Whether it was penalties or drop passes, you're thinking, how in the hell does this guy get on the field for the Chargers? Another guy that's been a complete disappointment throughout his Chargers career for the most part. His rookie year was okay, but since then he's been really bad. Is Zion Johnson. Zion Johnson, to me, is one of the worst guards in the NFL at this point. Those are two guys you walk away and you say, can we have somebody else that's better in there? I understand that Tomlinson's a backup, but I feel like he should never even touch the field, Mario.
No, that was one of those things where, like, it took me back to last week when I want to. Who's the receiver? I'm blanking on his name. He made a great catch today and bounced back. But when
Rieger.
Yeah.
Oh, Rager.
Rieger. Yeah, that one where I'm like, where are we finding these guys where we just put them in and they mess up right away? Like, why is this happening to us? Like, this is the only thing that would happen to the Chargers. But just another example too, guys, of how like this roster needs to be upgraded. It needs to be upgraded quickly. Like if they want to, and I'm tired of, by the way, kind of tired of hearing the whole rebuild thing, Dave. Like they were saying that at halftime. I'm not a fan of that word for the Chargers.
No, we kind of spoke about it in the last show about, you're Jim Harbaugh. You don't rebuild. You win now, right? Like the one of my favorite line of the entire sports year is the head coach from Indiana football. When they say, you guys, are you surprised by the quick start you're off to? And he just straight out, I mean, he's dead serious. I'm a winner. Look, Google me. I win. That's what we brought Jim Harbaugh in for, right? Google him. He wins. What's this rebuilding and taking time to get to where you want to be? I'll be honest. I'll say it first because I know all three of us are thinking the same thing. And the people on the chat, if you wrote it and I missed it, I'm sorry. Everybody was thinking the same thing. When that game started, where in the hell is the effort? Like, this looks like a game that they are willing to just let go, and it's going to be a continuation of a hangover from Arizona. And until Justin Herbert ran his ass off for that big run, and he got out of the pocket and he ran, and everybody's like, whoa, there he is. That's what he used to do at Oregon. That seemed to fire the team up. It seemed like they flipped a switch then. And if the quarterback who makes all the money and everyone knows is banged up can say, I'm going to put my head down and go for it, it seemed like it changed. But let's be honest, I was 100% disappointed with the effort. This is not what I expected from Charger football this year or any year that Jim Harbaugh is the coach. And it felt like a Brandon Staley game the way that started, meaning they aren't playing for their coach or for their teammates or for anything.
It was ugly, right? You have the botched punt. You have the missed PAT. If Spencer Rattler wasn't on the other side, Chargers would be in deep trouble, right? They couldn't move the ball. And something else that bothered me from the announcers today, and of course we get the D-list announcers as we always do. They're saying if Haener started this game for the Saints, there would be a different ball game. I disagree. I 100% disagree. I don't think anybody for the Saints could have helped them today. They just were bad. The Saints are a really bad football team. They've lost 6 games in a row for a reason. I agree that Haener was a step up from Rattler, but I didn't think he was Mahomes out there. I thought the Chargers defense was phenomenal as usual. And that's why you don't rebuild, Mario. If you have a great defense like the Chargers have and a top quarterback like Justin Herbert, you don't rebuild. And you don't bring in Jim Harbaugh to rebuild. This isn't a rebuilding team to me. This is a team that is in step 1 of getting to where they need to be, but it's not a complete rebuild. You can't rebuild with a top quarterback and a top coach and a top defense.
Yeah.
No, you can't. And, okay, but quick question. If you guys think Derek Carr starts, do we lose this game?
No.
Unless Drew Brees is starting, the Chargers are winning that game. I'm sorry. Right?
They have, to me, aren't the Saints just like the Chargers in the sense that Kamara is their Dobbins, right? He does a little bit more in the pass game. And then Olave is their Lad McConkey. And then besides that, who the hell is on the Saints? There's nobody out there.
Yeah. I mean, Olave did get hurt. Their defense isn't bad. Like, the linebackers are actually pretty tough for the Saints. Their coaching, just their leadership they have in there is beyond brutal. I think Dennis Allen's a bottom 3 coach in this league by far. I think Taysom Hill's a pretty solid player. He just doesn't get used all, to the best of his abilities, I'd say. What?
I can't stand Taysom Hill. You know how happy I was when the ball flipped off his hands and was intercepted? It was awesome. I was like, hell yeah, Taysom Hill. Yep.
Pretty damn good,
though. Can't stand Taysom Hill. Don't like him. Didn't like him in 2014 when he played at BYU.
You know who I don't like? And it did feel really good to see him suck today with Spencer Rattler. Let's be honest, guys. That was amazing to watch him suck. Yeah.
Right? Come on. We don't like him at Oklahoma or South Carolina or wherever else he wants to go. And what's the deal with Olave? Like, on the field, in the tent. On the field, in the tent. I mean, that was kind of crazy. At the same time, let's get to what everyone's writing on the side. What's the deal with Joey? That game started and Joey was limping.
Well, yeah, we knew he was hurt going into it.
Come on, dude. It's the NFL. I mean, what's going on? He doesn't want to be out there, Mario. And I will say this over and over again, and people go, you don't make it personal. Just go to Instagram. What game is his mom at? His mom's in San Francisco at the Cowboy game. His mom never comes to a Charger game. She knows she can't depend on Joey to show up, but she knows her younger son shows up, right? If the mom every single time, like, you never come to a Charger game, let's go to Knicks games. Guess what? There's no reason to go see Joey. He started the game with a limp. I mean, to let everybody know I'm hurting And it's like, here's one from the Chargers. Go, Joey, I thought it was your left ankle that hurt. Why are you limping off your right ankle? Like, oh, shoot, you're right. It's the other ankle that I told him was hurt. Nobody believes in Joey anymore. Sorry, it's the boy who cried wolf. We're tired of it. And when he's out of the game or he's kneeling down talking to the trainer, we're just happy that he still has shoulder pads on. Like, we're just happy he didn't go change his clothes at halftime. That's where we're at with this guy. Enough with Joey Bosa. You can't depend on him. And if you notice, they switched the two today. Do you notice Khalil Mack was lining up where Joey usually lines up, and Joey lines up where Khalil Mack usually lines up? Like, they changed everything because you figured that's the way the Saints prepared. It was like, we got to worry about 52. We don't have to worry about 97.
97 is not part of the team. Joey Bosa is not part of this team. If you're a coach on the Chargers, if you're Jesse Minter, if you're Jim Harbaugh, you got to pretend like Joey Bosa is not on the roster when you scheme things. You can't depend on him to be out there. Thule, to me, is the guy you got to depend on. I mean, Thule's out there giving his all, throwing his head into every play. Bud Dupree had a game today that was a little bit forgetful where he made some boneheaded plays, but even he's out there playing. I mean, you got to respect the guys that are give their all on the field. Joey Bosa's stats today, let me read them to you. Oh, wait, he had 0 stats. He literally did nothing. 0 tackles, 0 pressure, 0 sacks, nothing.
He had a pressure. I wrote it down because I knew this was going to happen. He did have a pressure.
You knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, he was in the area. It doesn't matter. Joey Bosa's PFF grade is 0. Guy didn't do anything out there. I am 100% okay with moving forward without Joey Bosa. I think the entire team feels that way too, Mario. How can you say the guy's a captain when he's never on the field? Like, you cannot respect a guy that never plays, ever.
No kidding.
He tried to play. He tried to play today. He came in.
I disagree.
He came in. That was literally the report. He was hurt. He was hurt all week. Literally said in an interview, I feel like I've been letting the organization down, my teammates down, the coaching staff down. So I decided to play today.
Yeah. You know what? A little bit more to me, and I'm not going to accept any game checks over the last 4 weeks. Yes. That would have been like, I meant it.
That's a captain move.
Yeah.
To not
donating.
I'm donating.
Fine, take the checks. Go. Here's me giving the money to charity. Here's me walking to individual fans and just giving it away. Whatever, but that's not what he's going to do. No one's ever going to do that. I'm not telling him basically really give his money away, but the captain thing's a joke. I mean, it's embarrassing. The captain's supposed to be a reflection of what you are. Captain Underpants. That's who this guy is. He's a joke. You know, I'm sorry. I mean, what's he doing? It's just old. And to sit there and say we have a superstar. People who don't know the Chargers but know Joey Bosa from Ohio State or what he was supposed to be, I'm sorry. He's not. He's just not that guy. And when his name comes up and, you know, oh, Joey gave it everything he had, I just don't buy it. And if Joey honestly wants to say and the Chargers want to come out and go, hey, Joey Bosa, if we're in the playoffs, then we're going to use a guy that's 100% healthy. We're just going to wait for him to get 100% healthy. I would almost accept that more than what I saw today. Today was a show.
Here, I got something for the people in the comments. There's a couple guys here that said that we don't know what's really going on with Joey Bosa. The slander is getting old. This is where we stand with Joey Bosa. He's taking money from the team, and people want to say that he took a pay cut. Took a pay cut. He's still overpaid. This is a guy you drafted with the 4th overall pick that you're supposed to depend on as a captain. As a Charger fan, you have to be upset. And if you're okay with Joey Bosa not playing and having that C on his chest and never being out there to help the team, then that's more of a you problem. You don't respect the team. The players on the team, you know, they leave it out on the field. They get the crap eaten out of them. You got to do it as a team, man. Even in high school, if you had one of your buddies that wasn't out there on Friday nights taking hits with you, you didn't really respect him. You're like, I guess you're part of the team, but not really. I want to talk about a guy, though, Mario, that really is part of the team. And he's had a down year for the most part, but it might have been my favorite part of the entire game. Can you get that comment up there by Steven?
Yeah, I got you right here. Because I love this.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite parts of the game. Steven Shoemaker says, Bozeman sticking up for Herbert was awesome. Dude, it was awesome. I'm so happy that somebody stood up on the Chargers. A lot of the times we get slapped and we don't do anything. If you guys remember, Shepard on the Saints grabs Joey's ankle and rolls up on him, and then Bradley Bozeman right up in his face, hits him as hard as he can in the face mask. Dual penalties, they offset, replay the down. I loved it, Mario. I love when they stick up for the quarterback, and that was one of my favorite parts of the game, if not my favorite part of the game.
It was a key thing for this team. I think it was a huge things, like you said. This team is been kicked around. They don't do anything back. And I'm not saying that, you know, hit after the whistle every single time and be like a chippy team or a dirty team. I'm saying when situation like that happens, when that was a, you know, unnecessary hit on Herbert and then clearly a tackle where they're trying to hurt him, you back up your QB and you make sure that D lineman does not do that ever again. Bosman did that. And holy hell, if no one got to him quick enough, more damage was coming. I mean, my God, was he pissed off. It was a big thing. It's one of those moments where it sets the culture for the team. I love that he did it. I'll be honest with you guys, man. Dave, I love that he did it.
No, I'm a big team chemistry guy. I mean, it's funny. Josh knows Bozeman, obviously, from school. A couple things happened today that I thought were big for the Chargers. Not only did they change the way they started the game, and when I talk about the effort, I think everybody saw it. I mean, you kind of feel it when teams are ready to go out there and give it. But things are disappointing. We're still towards the beginning of the season. I mean, the team was a 500 team heading in. They're now 4-3, which I think a lot of teams in the league would change records in a heartbeat. Like teams that expected to do something would say, I would take that 4-3 record in a second. Justin Herbert, my opinion, this is one of his better games for a variety of reasons. And people look at the stats and go 20 or 32. That doesn't seem like a big time game. There were so many things that happened where, by the way, 20 or 32, 279 yards, 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, quarterback rating of 111. Man, here's the deal. That run, the passes he made, the gambles he took, like I'm rewatching right now behind the screen of some of the passes he threw that looks like there's nobody open. Oh. And then by the time the ball gets there, he finds that little seam. Dude, let's talk about the safety that happened at the beginning with J.K. Scott. You go, that's embarrassing. We almost had the second one. For Justin Herbert to stiff arm that dude and slam push his head into the ground and stay out of the safety, that could have killed us. I mean, at the time, really, that could have killed this team. Momentum, they get the ball back, they got the 2 points. Overall, this is one of Justin Herbert's best games as a Charger, I thought.
I thought Justin Herbert has been awesome the last 2 weeks, especially what he has to deal with out there. I really believe it's him, Ladd, and J.K. Dobbins. I don't know who else is on that team that you can rely on. Even Josh Palmer has a really nice play, but he is the one that makes the bonehead decision to not block the guy. That should have been a safety. I really believe 31 other quarterbacks, that's a safety. I don't know how Justin Herbert got out of that. Josh Palmer has to understand the situation. You got to put hands on him. And why is Josh Palmer blocking a defensive end in that situation when you're by the goal line? Maybe that's a Greg Roman issue where you're saying, what the hell are we doing? Why would you do a play action fake where Josh Palmer's a dependable blocker? But I agree with you, Dave. Justin Herbert has been awesome last couple of weeks. I think it's definitely something you build on. I still want a receiver, though. Trade for a receiver, a tight end. I'm all for that.
And I really think that after today, guys, I'm starting to really believe that T. Higgins is going to be available. I'm starting to really believe that. Yeah. After this Bengals loss, I mean, what other direction do you have? There's no way he's coming back. There's just very little no chance that you're going to do anything in this division. A little chance that you do anything in the playoffs. Like T. Higgins is going to be available. What's that asking price going to be? Right now, you're buying low because he just came off an injury, and I don't think they're to be in a spot where they can like really force feed him and kind of get that asking price up. I think he's going to be available. Maybe they make an offer. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Past couple weeks have told me they won't, but if they do, it could be big for the Chargers. Herbert's game today was incredible, and at the point where the Chargers offense couldn't get anything going, he took it on himself to run, get a big run for a first down. Takes a hit too, by the way, which I was like, Herbert, love the aggression, but I would really love it if you don't take hits right now because our injury luck's just not great. But I agree with you guys. The past 2 weeks, he's been playing some of his best football all year. And another thing, Dave, that I would like to point out, 17 points today scored in the second half. 17. When it was halftime, it was 9-5. And I thought, holy hell, that's a weird score for football. And holy hell, I'm getting punched in the face right now. I was thinking, I have no idea if they're even going to be able to put up points. And like, is this game going to end 9-5? 17 is a great moment for the Chargers. It's a step in the right direction because they couldn't do that the past couple of weeks. They were the worst second half scoring offense in the NFL. Little corrections like that, that's a big victory.
No, a lot of things didn't go in their way. Kind of curious to see, where the Chargers go. They're supposed to be easy as far as the way the schedule goes for the next few weeks, and things get extremely tough. So, just looking ahead, if people want to go, hey, let's keep this win streak going. Let's go this way with this thing. It gets it started off going, hey, we got the Browns and we have the Titans, and you're going, hey, I can see maybe a 3-game winning streak going right there. The Browns all of a sudden look like a different team, and we'll get more into that later on, but kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like you get rid of the quarterback that makes all this money, and you bring in Jameis Winston, who's been around the league forever. All of a sudden, the Browns pull off the win of the day, right? They beat the Ravens. So a lot of people thought outside of the Chiefs, and maybe even people thought they were better than the Chiefs. All of a sudden, the Browns are the team you're facing next. You don't think they're going to have a good week? They're excited. We're excited For the Chargers, they have to go and they have to face Cleveland. At the same time, if you did not see the clip of Jameis Winston doing this pregame speech, it was the best thing you're going to see today. Okay. Did you catch it, Mario? Did you catch it, Josh?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. When he said, we are playing for the names on our back and we are playing for the names on our helmet. Damn, we don't have anything on our helmet. It was so Jameis Winston. It was funny as hell when he realized that everything I just said made zero sense. But he's saying it dead serious face. Everything you could tell Jameis Winston, everything he did today, he practiced in the mirror. Every one of his speeches to the reporters, everything he said to his team, the camera's right in his face and he's in that huddle. And then he drops the line and realizes there's nothing on the Browns helmet. But it was just like, this is ultimate Jameis Winston. Just crazy.
I think one of the worst things to happen to the Chargers with upcoming opponents is that Deshaun Watson's not available, right? I think Jameis Winston is a step up. It's not going to be an easy game next week. I don't think it would have been easy with Deshaun Watson, but it would have been easier. Jameis Winston 3 touchdowns today, and like Dave said, they beat the Baltimore Ravens. Also not good for the Chargers is the Broncos won and the Chiefs won. Chargers really don't gain any ground in the division. Your boy DJ Chark not activated before the game.
What?
What's up, Mario? Do you know why DJ Chark? Does he exist? I mean, like Dave said, does DJ Chark actually exist?
He exists. He came off IR. Sure? Just didn't play today.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've completely changed my response when I get invited to things now. It used to be Kawhi. It was Joey Bosa for a while. Now I just send DJ Chark photos. Hey, you showing up to dinner tonight? DJ Chark. That's it. What the hell's going on, man? What's going on? It's the craziest thing. It's like just a funny joke at this point. It's ridiculous. Good God.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, what's up?
Crazy.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, are you happy with the way the receivers played today outside of Ladd? Obviously, we're extremely happy with Ladd McConkey. Were you satisfied with the way that Palmer, Fehoko, Rager played out there?
No, because I thought there were some drops out there that could have been made for big plays. I mean, even late in the game, guys, we had that drop, and like that was right in Pete Warner's hands. If that's caught, guys, this is a different show. Maybe that's even a different game today. I thought the receivers led more to be desired. I thought there was a moment even in the end zone where Herbert threw him open. And he's not able to make the play. Are these hard catches? Yeah, some of them are hard catches. I get that, but you're the receiver. And when you have a quarterback that can kind of put it in any spot that he wants, and he's put it in the only spot where he can catch the freaking football. Again, as great as Ladd played today, and he played great, like we said, 6 receptions, 111 yards. That's 18.5 average, 2 touchdowns. Palmer showed up for 2 catches. I still leave walking away going, that's the glaring hole. That is the biggest problem in this offense. And we're still not doing anything about it. And Quinn Johnston playing this game, guys. Like, I know when people say, like, well, Quinn Johnston didn't play. And while he has looked better, that's not like a revolutionized offense with Quinn Johnston. It's like, it's still the same sucky thing. It just has more sprinkles on it.
No, you're right. Here, real quick. I just saw it. It's the name. It's going by so fast. Kyoki makes a point here. He says, "Go get David Njoku." Dude, now that the Browns won, and if the Browns think they can put something together because there's a different quarterback in there, he's not going to be available. You're not going to be able to go out and grab him. Like maybe the Browns winning was the worst thing to happen to the Chargers today because maybe you did have a chance to go out and get him. I think the Browns don't trade him. Do you think the Browns will make their tight end available, Josh?
I mean, not before we play them, right? We play them in 7 days. I doubt they give them over to us before the game. I also think the Browns should trade him because that division's really good. I mean, even though the Ravens lost today and the Bengals have been struggling, I don't think the Browns have any shot at making the playoffs with the Steelers the way they've been playing. The Ravens, you'd assume, would make the playoffs. If you're the Browns, I think you're playing for next year and playing for a draft pick. I don't know. How do you feel, Mario?
All I'm going to say is if I'm doing a Browns post-game show right now, and we just won 29-24 against the Baltimore Ravens, I look at our next 3 games, and I go, these are very, very winnable games. Home against the Los Angeles Chargers, then the New Orleans Saints, and then you're at home against Pittsburgh Steelers. That's a lot of momentum you could build. And you can convince yourself this team looks different with Jameis, which it does. You can convince yourself that his defense is coming together. You can convince yourself that the pass rush is like still there. There's hope there, I think, Dave, that like they they can still kind of find that magic that they had last year.
Yeah, well. Also, I think you owe it to that fan base more than almost any fan base in the league, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they are diehard loyal fans. They have been here for the longest time. They spent a ton of money. This was not supposed to be a rebuilding year. To sit there and quit in October would be tough for that fan base. I'm with you. I would kind of write it out if I was the Browns. I'll throw another guy at you, and I know this is something we usually do during the week, but we want to know how do we get better. As people are saying, he focused on Ladd McConkey today. Of course, Palmer had 2 receptions, had a lot of yards average wise, but 2 receptions. Calvin Ridley had 10 receptions today. Looked pretty good for the Titans. You still interested? Not interested?
Calvin Ridley would be my number one choice. Calvin Ridley is still very good. The issue is going to be his contract. I mean, how much would the Chargers have to eat? I think it's worth it, though. If you're trying to make the playoffs this year, the Chargers, to me, are still a playoff team, especially with these next few games they have coming up. I believe they're very winnable for the Chargers. If I'm the Chargers, Mario, I go ahead and I try to get Calvin Ridley.
Dude, what do you have? Like, wasn't it over 100 receiving yards today in the first quarter or something crazy? Let me double check this.
Dude, he
remember
was on fire. And that's Mason Rudolph throwing him the goddamn ball.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph. That guy's an idiot.
He got beat in the head with his own helmet.
Yeah,
Remember?
That guy sucks. The capital S. That guy's beyond terrible. And like that, Calvin Ridley's doing that against by the way, the Lions. We can talk about this on Tuesday when we do like our full recap. I mean, holy juggernaut. Like, if you're a Lions fan, you are enjoying yourself in multiple different ways today. Yeah, that's, if you know what's banned in your state.
I don't even know what that means.
If you know what's banned in your state, brother, you don't have to worry about that. Just turn on a little Lions film and have yourself a good time. You guys pick up what I'm dropping? No?
I picked it up. No, I picked it up.
100%.
Okay. Are you done talking? you followed it up. I thought you were going somewhere else with that. All right.
Oh, no. That's all I had.
Okay. Hey, by the way, a couple things, and I just kind of want to touch on. It made my day that the Jets lost to the Patriots. I mean, Woody Johnson, old man, I don't know what to tell you, man. You fell for Aaron Rodgers' cult. I don't know what you're doing. You listen to everything this guy did. Go get this guy from the Packers and this guy from the Packers and pay this guy and trade for this guy. Holy yes, dude. You just lost to the Patriots. Patriots has like 0 talent. It's insane. I mean, their Patriots roster is right up there with the Panthers, in my opinion. The fact that you lost to the Patriots and Devontae Adams, guess what? Devontae Adams doesn't look that good. You can't tell me he's not comfortable. He's with Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be more comfortable than anyone around except for Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams is just a guy. What the hell just happened? Aaron Rodgers is going to be the death of that organization. And I'm here for it. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up every Sunday and I root for the Chargers, number 1, and then I root against the Jets, number 2. I hate the Jets. I hate the way they've handled this whole situation. And Devontae Adams is not even wide receiver 1 on that team. It's Garrett Wilson. I think it's been pretty clear so far. I understand Devontae Adams is new out there, but Garrett Wilson looks head and shoulders better so far. Mario, do you want to get into some of these comments?
Yeah, 100%. Also, Pat's +7. That was the greatest of greatest locks ever. Shout out Drake May, even though he got hurt.
All right, Alana Moore, $5. She says, showing love per usual on a happy high with this W. We'll take wins any way we can. We had somebody earlier say this wasn't an ugly win. It was a great win. Dude, any win's a great win. And I think it was an ugly win. When you go 3 for 12 on third down efficiency, it's a little bit ugly, but you'll take any win you can.
Hey, and we got to fix whatever the hell is the misdirection dump offs on the left side. Holy cow, man. Like, it's automatic. Like, how come we can't figure this out? I understand they're going to work on it during the week, but man, you want to move the ball against the Chargers? Just wait it out, flip it off to the left side, and you're going to gain 14 or more. It was crazy.
I'm with you. Richie Farley, $5. He says, shout out to Saints number 93 for being a piece of S. It was 110% intentional to injure the same ankle Herbert injured earlier in the season. Thoughts? So, yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but Mario, when you see a play like that and Bozeman obviously sticks up for Justin Herbert, do you believe a guy should be ejected from the game where it looks like he's really intentionally trying to take out the quarterback, especially Justin Herbert, where you know what the injury is? Everybody knows in the world Justin Herbert has a hurt ankle, and the guy's obviously trying to take him out. Would you eject somebody in that situation, or how would you handle it if you're the referees?
Eject him. See you later. Peace.
I agree. It's intentional.
It's 100% intentional. Like what else are you gonna do right there? And then, look, I get it too. Like I'm all for. It's hard to stop when you're going 1,000 miles per hour and you're going for a hit. It's harder to break down if the ball's out and whatever. That was a clear situation where he was going for something. He was going for a cheap play, and he got everything that was coming to him right after that. Dave, you make that play, and there's an O lineman right above. Get ready for what's coming, buddy.
Yeah, it's like in hockey, man. He's a goon, right? You got the goons. He was a goon.
Yeah.
The NFL needs to do something about that because there's a reason why certain guys make $50 million. You got to protect your quarterbacks, the superstars of this league, the guys that the casual fan knows. It's something you could see coming. Then what I don't understand in the NFL and in football in general, it's really weird that a guy like Derrick Henry can run and stiff arm someone right on the face mask, like grab his face mask and stiff arm him. But yet if a defensive player does it to an offensive player, it's automatic face mask. Right? I mean, it's weird. It should be automatic. You touch someone's helmet or face mask, it should be a penalty. No matter what.
I'm with you. It's always something that I always wonder, why don't they call that on the offensive guy? Tom Honecker says if it was Derwin, he'd be suspended for a month. I agree.
Kidding.
If it was Derwin, he would have been suspended.
Yeah.
That guy should get fined at the minimum.
Yep.
Angie Barra, $4.99. She says for Mario towards his $200 that he lost. Happy with the W, no matter how ugly. Great show. Thank you, Angie. Appreciate it.
And I badly need it. That hurt.
Andrew, appreciate it. I think that really shook Mario up.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That hurt so bad.
I think literally while we were doing the show, you went on a gambling site and chased your money on Sunday Night Football right now.
Was
that right?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, I can see it in your face. You were like completely shook. I've never seen you shook. Today you were shook.
It's because it's so defeating when you think you have it home.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's in the account.
Yeah.
You know, the weekend's covered. And then that happens and you go, son of a, like, you get so angry. But now if the Niners don't cover it tonight, this microphone's going to be broken.
No, don't do that.
Broken.
Cost you another $300. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Dude, I was next to a girl last night at the Dodger game who bet $450 that Tommy Edman hit a home run. And sure enough, he did.
What a payday.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
God. I was at a bar watching that game yesterday, and I was on a date, and the girl was a big Yankees fan. I didn't know that, and I bet on the Dodgers, and there's Dodger fans to the right of me. Yes. So like I was Two-Face. I was Two-Face in Batman. I was like, I can't believe Buki hit that, and then I look over to the boys. I go, they get riled up, dude. It was great. It was fun.
All right, real quick, and we'll get to your comments. I got 2 Dodger things to say to you. Okay, I was at the game yesterday. Obviously, it was awesome. Ice Cube was awesome. I don't know where you are, Mario, on Ice Cube. Ice Cube was my thing. All right, for the first game 1, Dean Spanos sit in front row. We all saw it. Dean sitting in front row, looking at his phone, in the most important parts of the game was driving me out of my mind. I was just like, "What the f?" Like, you're there obviously for the camera. You do not care about baseball. You're there because that's the place to be, and it's LA. But it was driving me a little crazy that Dean had his head down nonstop looking at his phone when, like, dude, Ohtani's up. What the hell are you doing? And then the other thing that bothered me a little bit, and maybe it shouldn't, you guys tell me if I'm wrong on this. It's Friday night. Chargers are going to play in less than 48 hours. And Jim Harbaugh's there with his dad and his kid just sitting there watching the game. And I'm like, don't we have some prep? I don't know. I'm like, we're 3-3. We just had an embarrassing loss to Arizona. Why are you guys at Dodger Stadium? Kind of bothered me.
The Dean thing bothered me more. Like, dude, get your head up. Like, don't embarrass yourself, man. What are you playing, Candy Crush? You got the best tickets in the house for the World Series. Get your head up. And the Jim Harbaugh thing, I understand where you're coming from, but I always think they're people too, man. They just want to relax. And Jim Harbaugh, it's not his fault that the team can't move the ball. I mean, actually, it is. He hired Greg Roman, but the Dean Spanos thing was more annoying for me.
Yeah,
I'll never understand when you're at a sporting event like that. I know you want to like capture it like on like your phone. I know your phone's like pretty entertaining, but like I don't get that. Like when I'm at an event like that, like my phone's see it, buddy.
It has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, kind of crazy.
You bring a date and have them do that. Be like, hey, keep it because you want the memories, but you're like, I don't want to be on my phone.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like it's at the same time, Dean did it obviously to maybe Dean. My feeling is Dean doesn't feel like he's part of LA. Like accepted. Like there's certain owners in LA that are royalty.
He's
Dean's not. Yeah, Dean's not that guy yet. You know what I mean? He's not one of the. He's not Jerry Buss, that kind of deal where he's basically sports royalty. And for him to get in the front row, in my head, I'm like, how did he get there? Just like I watch the guy with the Marlins shirt on all the time. How did he get there? You know, where was his connection? How did he, but when he was there and he wasn't paying attention, it bothered me. I don't know. It was kind of interesting. Anyway,
We'll go to Blaze's comment here. Blaze 1999. He says a Chargers dub and a Jets embarrassing loss is the perfect Sunday. Both the F up and enjoy that cigar, Dave.
Damn, man, I was almost gone. That's my goal, is to finish this thing by the end of the show. I choked on something on the end. I don't know what the hell, man, but I keep coughing.
All right, Miguel Alvarez 499. He says I was at this game. I know Herbert was trying to win that game on his own on that long run. We need a weapon now. I agree. I thought Justin Herbert did everything in his power to win this game. It looked like it was almost like there's an urgency to him today more than usual. Yeah, and like I said earlier, the Chargers definitely still need a weapon. I don't think you can walk away from this game thinking, oh, we're fine. We don't need anybody else.
I think this was a game that, you know how we talk about where like some quarterbacks single-handedly win games for like their teams. Josh Allen, you know, is a prime example of this. When it wins and lose, I think this is the first time this year where I would argue Herbert single-handedly won us this game.
Yeah, I honestly, as I said before, I think this could go down as one of Justin Herbert's best games. I know maybe 2% of the country saw it. You know, I mean, you could tell by the announcers that were given to us that nobody was paying attention nationally. But if you watch this game from beginning to end, you could literally say this was Justin Herbert's best. Like he willed to win right here in that game. Like he says, we're not losing today. And if I got to do something crazy like run 60 yards, or I got to sit there and stiff arm a defensive end that weighs 100 pounds more than me and make sure I don't get a safety, Justin Herbert did everything he possibly could do to change the way that game started to the way it ended. It just felt different. You know, like he was an automatic game ball guy, but I'm trying to think in my mind, how many other games that Justin Herbert played where I felt like he completely took over? By the way, someone wrote in the comments that he got upset with Rice again today. I missed that part.
I missed that too. If somebody knows why, I'd love to know. How's Rice getting yelled at so much? He never plays. I've never seen a guy get yelled at that never plays. Or barely plays. That's incredible.
He just catches
strays constantly.
Strays. Yeah.
He gets mad at him for Tomlinson dropping the ball.
Yeah.
And dude, how about the announcers saying Justin Herbert needs to make a better throw there? His hands? It hit Tomlinson right in the hands. Like, where
wasn't it nitpicking was like, he's like, oh, if you want to nitpick, Herbert could have made a better throw. It was something along those lines,
that's exactly
right?
what he said.
Yeah.
Is this not the NFL? The guy should catch the ball in his hands. Mike G, $5. He says, great win. I'm still mad about Arizona. Are you guys still mad about Arizona? Or are you trying to forget about that and just move forward?
I'm trying to forget about it, man. But at the same time, I think we're going to look back at that game and go, damn, Arizona. That's why I was really disappointed the way they came out today. Instead of having that bad taste in your mouth to say we're going to come out with our hair on fire, that's not what they did. It just felt like a hangover. And that's when I felt like, oh, shoot, are we falling into those teams that just give up on a season in October? Like there are certain teams in the NFL you could see are kind of giving up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you guys look at am I nuts? I mean, I'm not looking at the Chargers in this concern, but do you look at the standings of other teams going, all right, who's going to get the first round pick? Like I keep playing the game in my head of, well, Titans pretty much stink. They're letting everyone else know they stink. I'm looking at the Raiders. They stink. You know, there are certain teams I'm going, all right, who's picking top? Because we're all looking at quarterbacks coming out. We're looking at receivers. And in my mind, I try and play the game. What's going to be available for the Chargers, let's say at pick 17, you know? Maybe I'm just way ahead of everyone else on that.
I never do.
My time.
I never do because I always feel like the Chargers will end up with the 17th pick, like they always do. Chargers always end up with a pick, typically, besides this past season, Mario, between the 16th and 23rd pick, maybe the 21st. Chargers, that's their spot where it's like the worst pick to have, right? Because you really did not make the playoffs, and you also don't have a top pick. That's where the Chargers are usually always at. But I don't look at the bad teams. I just think, you know, whatever, they're out of it. We don't have to worry about them. We should try to make the playoffs still.
Jose said Herbert yelled at Rice because he didn't go in motion. So he needed to go in motion. Damn.
I kind of look at the draft order because I get kind of like fascinated by it. So I agree with you a little bit there, Dave. And right now it's Panthers, Tennessee, Pats, Jets, Jags are the top 5.
Yeah.
And you're right, by the way, Josh. Chargers are 20 right now. If it ended today,
They'll probably
God
finish
dang it.
there. That's where they're always at.
That's it. Yeah. Jess writes on here. Yeah, I'm upset about the Arizona game. You can't piss away wins. I can't agree more. You know, that's we all feel as fans. Like you look back at the season and go, where are we at as far as playoff picture goes? Did that game cost you?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just happy we won today. When you look for next week, I know we'll talk about it. Do you feel comfortable about the Browns? Do you feel like the Chargers are heading in the right direction after today?
Good, Mario.
I feel comfortable because this is a game that would have been lost last year. And I think the year before that the Chargers would have lost. So I do feel good in that factor that, look, this team fought back. They handled the adversity pretty well, and they found a way to win. And they did something today they haven't done recently, which was score in the second half. And they did that today. I'll give all the kudos to that. Going forward, the thing that worries me is, does this Browns team suddenly have energy? And is that going to come and hurt us as we go into their place, which is a very hard place to play in Cleveland? That's going to be tough. And what do you guys think the line's going to be for next week?
Ooh. It's about even, right? I'll go Chargers -2.
Dave?
Dude, I'll go Browns 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, I'm going Browns. And God dang, I really just like it was fun watching the Ravens lose until you realize, wait a second, we play the Browns this week. I'm a big momentum guy. I think momentum does a lot for you. When you go into a game expecting to win, or all of a sudden you have new energy, especially when it's a new quarterback that comes in. It's not like it's a rookie quarterback that, flash in the pan. Jameis Winston's been around a long time. I mean, Jameis Winston was the king of throwing touchdown passes and turning the ball over. That's kind of what he's known for. He'd kill you, but he'd do, one extreme or the other. Literally coming back from LA yesterday, the guy I was in the car with is a charter season ticket holder. He goes, "What do you think? We're going to win the next 3 games. I'm not worried about it." And maybe Cincinnati too. And going through the whole thing, and then after watching the Browns win and the way they behaved, like they know they took down maybe the best team in the NFL. It's a home game. I mean, it's going to be a little nuts this week in Cleveland. It's all they got. The Guardians aren't doing anything.
I'd say too, I left today with more confidence in them than the Bengals. I don't have any faith in the Eagles, and to get beat like that in your stadium, oof. I don't know, man.
I feel good, man. I feel good. I think Jameis is gonna, turn the ball over. I know he didn't do it much today, but next week I think he's due. All right, Eddie Ramirez, 199. He says, Dave, let's hear your World Series takes so far, 2 games in.
Oh, it's 2 games. All right. So normally 2 games of a best of 7 series, and you think the other team only has to win 4 out of 5, which is a big ask when you're talking about the 2 best teams in baseball. Man, you look back at the history of the World Series when these teams have matched up, the team up by 2 the last few times has lost the World Series. So, man, I always say it's never over till it's over. Am I happy they won the first 2 games? 100%. Extremely excited. The Dodgers are up 2-0. I hope Walker Buehler has his best stuff. So he likes pitching in the cold because he played at Vanderbilt, pitched in the cold, and he's a big game pitcher. But anything can happen. Dodgers are balanced up and down the lineup. Yankees, man, they have about 3 or 4 guys that you have to worry about. Otherwise, I like the Dodgers a lot. I do.
Yeah, Dodgers, I'm a Padres fan, but I hope they win because of my dad and my brother, huge Dodger fans. One quick shout out because people are putting it here on the side. Scott Madlock, I thought had a great game. He had a sack on defense. On offense, he created some good running lanes. I think there's something to be said about a big guy just knocking the hell out of the defensive line as the fullback. You have to be getting tired of that, right? If you know you're going to get past your guy, but big Scott Madlock's waiting for you on the other side, I think emotionally and mentally, Mario, makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And to have a guy that flies around the field and that brings in every play so much energy to the field, I think it's incredible. Kudos to him, man. He played a hell of a game, continues to step up week in and week out. Deserves all the hype that Harbaugh gives him every single week, Dave. So what does that guy feel like, by the way, every Monday? Because he has to feel like he got hit by 4 trains.
I'll tell you what he feels like. Number one, he feels like he gave it his all. That's what he feels like. He wakes up every day and he goes, I slept great last night because I gave it everything I had. I wish every guy on the Chargers would play as hard as he plays. Every single guy. I mean, seriously. How good would this team be if the guys who are more athletic than him played as hard as he does every single day? I bet he's like that in practice all the time too. His effort's there.
He's a football guy. And to go back to the Brennan Rice situation, Scott Madlock is learning the offensive playbook and the defensive playbook, but Brennan Rice never gets to play and he doesn't know when to go in motion 2 games in a row. I mean, we're all cheering for Brennan Rice here, but for God's sakes, man, learn the playbook. Quentin Johnston's situation from last year, right? You couldn't trust him because you didn't know the playbook. We hope that's not what happens with Brennan Rice. I love guys like Scott Madlock who are bringing that new culture to the Chargers of we're just going to knock you in the dirt, Mario. Something we haven't seen as Charger fans in a while. The defense brings it every week, right? Now we just need the offense to be consistent and score touchdowns.
Tuli also, by the way, speaking of just defense guys, I thought Tuli played a great game today.
He was awesome.
I loved everything I saw of Tuli. It is fun, by the way, having a great defense. It's fun watching a good D.
All right. So look, here's the deal. You always say Mario doesn't want anybody. The defense wins championships. Am I right coming into today's game? The Titans were the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. I think they gave up 52 points today.
The Lions are the best offense by a mile in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure defense wins championships.
Not in today's NFL. That's not the case. Like the Baltimore Ravens of 2000, yes.
Yeah.
Even the Broncos, I feel like with Peyton Manning, yes. There's not a defense in the NFL today that's good enough to make up for a horrible offense.
Counter?
Who?
Chiefs defense is carrying that team.
The Chiefs defense is carrying that team, but the Chiefs offense still scores.
Yeah.
It's not like they're scoring, 7 points a game. They're still scoring 2 touchdowns and a couple field goals every game.
Yeah. But they save their ass a lot.
Chiefs defense is like the Golden State Warriors defense. They play great team defense. They don't have a lot of guys in that defense that have big names, but they play great team defense.
Completely agree.
No, I agree with that as well. All right, we got about 52 minutes. We'll close the show out. Mara, I hope you were able to catch up on some of that dough. Coming tonight's game. We will be back on Tuesday, though. We'll be back on Tuesday at 1:00 Pacific time. I believe that's the case. If not, follow us on Twitter, and we'll figure it out. Did I miss any? Did I miss any super chats before we get out of here?
No, we just have a couple quick shout outs for the cornerbacks and the defensive backs in general. Elijah Molden, Tarheeb Still played great today. Yes, they should definitely get shout outs. Elijah Molden, man, what a pickup. Tarheeb Still, 5th round pick that's been playing very well for his draft position. Those guys definitely deserve shout outs, Mario.
They do. They give them all the credit in the world. I have a quick question for you guys because I wrote this down. So I need you guys' input, by the way.
What's up?
Do you get people gifts for engagement parties? Think about this.
No, I get them just a wedding gift.
Thank you. That's okay. Dave?
All right. God dang, this is a tough one. It depends on my relationship to them. How's that? Like we had a friend who's getting married. Their kid was getting married, and they had like 3 engagement parties and then the wedding. So we were getting gifts for everything. And so at the time, you're like, "Whoa, we've thrown a lot of money and gifts in every time there's an event."
Yeah.
And so just kind of the way it is. I don't know. I think someone your age, Mario, I think it's a one-time thing. How about that? I think you're covered in your age and what you are, and people know that you're, hey, I'm saving for things, trying to buy a house. I need gambling money. Like I can't afford to give you $200 and I'm throwing on the Bears,
Yeah. I just lost weight to the Bears and you're asking for a bottle of wine.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I think at your age you can pass. At my age, I think I gotta pay.
I'm with Dave. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I would look at it. And anyone wants to end a friendship over you not getting an engagement gift, F them, dude.
Well, no, because it was so I had a get your party today. Shout out Max and Abby. Happy for you. And didn't get a gift then. We just didn't because it was very short notice. And then I have one next weekend. And someone texted me and goes, "Hey, what are you getting them for a gift?" And I was like, I wasn't planning on getting him a gift. I was just gonna give him a wedding gift. And I'm traveling to get there.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Why?
that's exact. So I was like, that's my gift. I'm traveling to get to you.
Anybody that attended my bachelor party, which was like, they had to take a plane to get there. I didn't expect them to get me a wedding gift because they spent money on me to go to my bachelor party. If you travel or do anything to get to my wedding, I don't expect a gift. You're already spending money on the plane ticket to get there. That's the way I looked at it.
I love that line of thinking, by the way. That I think it's a good line of thinking. Like, hey, did they travel? Yeah, then I don't expect it. Because that's already a lot of money.
Do you disagree, Dave, on that one?
No, I don't think guys give a rat's ass. Like honestly, I just
Oh,
think
it's
guys,
never the guy. It's
yeah,
never the guy.
it
Yeah.
isn't. Guys
Never the
don't
guy.
care.
Yeah.
I'd almost judge it off of that, unless you want to worry about her trashing you. You know, hey, your deadbeat friend Mario. You know, next thing you know, you aren't part of the group anymore. But screw it, your friendship with him's never going to be the same anyway. She's going to take up a bunch of his time. So, oh well.
True.
I mean, what do you have in common?
I
You
wrote
aren't
it down.
right. You
Was
aren't
it?
married, and so guess what? They're going to
Yeah.
start doing things with married friends. You're out.
It's a very good point, actually.
Yeah,
And if they have a kid, then you're really out.
you're 100% out. You're just a guy
Yeah.
they once knew. You're the
And
guy they
let-
look back at the wedding pictures and go, "Who is this?"
Yeah, and you like see me like every 2 years or something. Like 2 years, I'm in town for something random, and you're like, hey, let's go. You know,
Yeah.
he's coming over. Who's he? Friend from college. I just look like a jackass, and I just tell him I have a $500 bet coming, little Timmy.
Yeah, you're out. When they get married, Mario, here's the deal. Try calling that guy 2 months after he gets married and see if he has time to hang out. Guarantee the answer is no.
Fair.
He's a new sheriff in town. It's not you.
Shout out Ryan's. He said they gave him a list of charities they could donate to. You're a really good person, Ryan. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Wait. They gave who? The people?
He said at my wedding we said no gifts, and for the people who insisted, we gave them a list of charities that they could donate to.
Okay.
Oh my
that's
God.
cool. Okay, that's
Wow.
cool. What I thought
Yeah.
I
Heard
heard
of that.
in this whole deal as far as engagement party, like I don't mind giving money to charity. I give money to charity all the time. All right, Josh and I run a nonprofit, but dude, for someone to tell me which charity to give money to would upset me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I would just say, hey, in lieu of a gift, please donate that money to charity or whatever. But they don't have to do anything. When someone says to me, you got to give to so and so, I'm like, what? You're picking the charity I'm giving money to? Kind of bothers me. I'll tell you what, I'll give you the money and you donate it.
Yeah.
Let's need the tax right off that bad for what? You know, people that I don't trust a lot of these charities people. I got to do my homework before I do it. I would say
Very
that.
true. You got
Yeah.
to like double check some of them because
Yeah.
you know there's
Yeah,
a lot
next
of
thing you know, it's one of those charities where they cut the dog's vocal cords so that they don't upset the
Yeah.
neighbors. Wait, I just gave money to a charity that cuts dogs' vocal cords? I don't want to do that. What the hell's that all about?
What?
Seriously.
Shady.
that.
Shady.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can tell that.
Yeah, Ryan, your heart's
story
in a
on
good
here
spot, I think. Hope I didn't ruin it for you.
Ryan's a great guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out Ryan.
Yeah.
Good for
Ryan's
you,
a great guy and tries to make you a great guy.
Yeah. I had one person they donated. I mean, not they donated. They got someone a wedding gift, and then I'm really trying to fix up this story so it doesn't get back to me. Got them a wedding gift, and then the person was like, "Hey, this is just really for one of us, not both of us." And the guy was like, "That's the point. This is for my best friend, not for you. Like I'm here to celebrate my best friend. It's like this is a gift for my best friend, not for you." And that was like a problem. Then
That
I was
guy's
like,
an
"That's
idiot.
that guy." Yeah,
You're an
I saw
idiot.
both sides. I'm like, I get the meaning, but like you're an
No.
idiot. Like you saw
No.
what was coming.
100% against that. You gave a
Yeah.
wedding. You gave a gift to the couple, man. You're celebrating their love. It's not like
ridiculous.
it's not like my buddy Mario. Here's some gambling money. Forget Susan
Yeah.
who's marrying. That's the dumb. I hate stuff like that. Celebrate
Yeah.
the couple. It's a day of celebration. Their love.
Dude, you're picking a
Cheesy as
fight.
that is. That's
It was-
horrible.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I was
what
the
do
double
you do?
down on
You're
both
out.
sides. I
Oh,
was
you're
like,
out.
Yeah, you're done.
You're
done.
100% out of the relationship. Doesn't matter who you give and support to. You're out. It's either both
Yeah.
or none. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's
What
not
the hell
cool.
is going to happen in that one?
I know. And I was
Here's-
like, dude, there was a
here's-
registry.
Here's
If you want an expensive
Here's
one,
the-
just get the most expensive thing.
here's the best advice I give to anybody that's friends with someone where the couple breaks up, whether it's they're engaged or not engaged, but they're dating. Dude, never say a word. Never, because if the one that always says, "Oh man, I hated that girl" or "I hated that guy," whatever, dude, if they get back together, you're out. Just because you give your opinion, you're automatically out.
That happened to me.
Yeah,
Verbatim
shocked.
verbatim, and I'm going to her wedding in literally less than a month. I'm the best man. Swear on life.
No.
Wait, you
True
trashed her?
story. So this was. I mean, I don't think they're that. Yeah, I doubt she'll care that I'm telling this. I hope not. But she dated my best friend, and they broke up. And me and my best friend always had a thing. We're like, if you break up with a girl, the relationship ends. The way we feel better is you don't say like, you trash on him a little bit, and you go, keep your head up. You deserve better. So I did that. So I sent that, and I was like, yo, keep your head up. Doesn't matter. She sucked. Pretty much. 2 months later, 3 months later, three or 4 months. It was like a while. They get back together. He calls me. He goes, hey, we got back together. I want you to give it another shot. I literally said, if you love her, I love her. I support you, whatever. Then fast forward like a year later, she brings it up to me. And we were like drinking. She's making jokes referencing like what I said in the message. And I just wasn't picking up on it. And I was like, oh, like, that's funny. Like, I don't really know what she's referencing. And my buddy goes, she's referencing the text. And I go, I don't know what text you're talking about. Because I was like, I'm not trying to play dumb. Like, can you please give me some more context? And they told me. And then I was like, oh, my bad. And I was like, oh, like, I'm sorry. I was like, but she goes, I read that message.
Why?
And I go, let's be honest. And then we had an honest conversation. I go, you shouldn't have read that message. I'm sorry what I said, but you should not have read that message. The whole thing.
Your friend's a jerk, dude. He hung out to dry.
100%.
Like I would have saved my ass by saying, look, I always loved you, but what do you want? He's my friend. I was trying to make him feel better. He was all crying to me like a bitch. And so I had to, take his side. But then the fact that your friend stabbed you in the back and showed her that message, that's what happened to, there's a bond there. You don't share that stuff. That's ridiculous.
No, it wasn't even that. And like, she's, by the way, people are saying she sounds like she's not. She's a great girl. Like, I love her.
I didn't say she wasn't.
Sister.
I'm not upset with her at all. I'm upset with your friend.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just a funny, like, I laughed off the situation and I was like,
you took it way better than me and Dave would have taken.
Yeah.
Tell you that right
I would
now.
not trust that guy ever again.
Yeah,
ever.
I would never. There's a handful of people that I won't put anything in writing to because I just don't trust them.
I do have that too. We're like, if I'm going to text something, I'm like, this is a call because I don't trust this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I know. Funny story now though. I think it's funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah,
I would never trust that guy ever again, dude. Ever.
Oh, I tell that guy everything. If there's one guy that could take me down, it's that guy. He's got me down. He's from A to Z.
That's not good. All right, we'll get from A to Z. All right, we'll get out of here. Jesus, why would you give that guy so much information on you when obviously he's not trustworthy?
I know. I still trust him. I just think that I literally think it had to be like I don't even know. Like this was like all like 2 years ago. Like I can't remember what was the context of it. Like why, like how she saw it. I have no idea how. But yeah, what are you gonna do? But now like she's like, yeah, and now she's literally like my closest thing I have to a sister. Like we're really close now.
God, dude.
I don't want to say anything else. Yeah. I'm afraid to say something either. God dang. All right, we'll be back on Tuesday, 1 o'clock. He's gonna tell her if we say anything on the show.
I know. God dang, Mario. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? Zip it up. Thought we had mafia ties here. What happened? All right, 26-8. Chargers win. They're now 4-3 on the season. Next up, the Browns. We'll talk more about the Browns and the week that was on Monday. Also, as we get closer to that trade deadline, we'll figure things out. What are the best options for the Chargers? Appreciate you joining us. Please like the show, subscribe to the show. We give you everything here. It sounds like what a complete mess. Again, thanks for listening. Well, if you haven't watched the show live, leave your comments on YouTube. Josh and I will check those out. Mario does a pretty good job of looking at them now too as well. So again, Chargers win 26-8. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you Tuesday. Sorry, at 1 o'clock.